I'm 19 years old, and my life has changed in a way I never expected. I inherited a massive amount of money, 8 figures, and my grandfather's business. He was an amazing businessman and an even better grandfather. We were incredibly close. He always told me that he wanted me to have everything because he believed in me and my future. His will was clear. Everything was left to me and me alone. As soon as everyone found out about the inheritance, my aunts and uncles, who I hadn't heard from in years, started reaching out. They were all asking for money, each with their own sob stories. One uncle wanted to pay off his debts. Another aunt needed money for her kids' college funds, and so on. Some even hinted they should get a share of the business profits because they're family. I felt suffocated by all their requests. It seemed like they only saw me as a source of money, not as a person. I didn't want to be responsible for fixing their financial problems, especially since they weren't there for me when I needed them. They only showed up at family gatherings to pretend everything was okay, but they never really cared about my well-being. On top of that, running the business has been a huge challenge. I'm young and don't have much experience, but I'm determined to make my grandfather proud and keep his legacy alive. I've been working hard to learn the ropes and hired some experienced people to help me manage the business. But the constant requests for money from my aunts and uncles added to my stress. After a lot of consideration, I decided to take a stand and set boundaries. I blocked their numbers and stopped responding to their messages. However, this decision has caused tension with my parents. They're angry with me, saying I'm being selfish and that family should always come first. They think I should at least help my aunts and uncles out a little, but I'm not sure I agree. I'm struggling to figure out what to do with this massive inheritance and the business. I want to use it wisely, grow the business, and make sure it lasts. I've considered investing, expanding the company, or using the money to further my education and secure my future. But now, I'm questioning my decisions. Am I being selfish for cutting ties with my family like this? Should I be using the money and business my grandfather left me to help them out instead? I'm torn and unsure of what the right thing to do is. Story 2. I'm a 33F and my husband is 33M. I've known my husband since we were just 3 years old. We've been friends for 30 years. I'm 6 weeks older than him. We grew up together until I moved away in my early teens. But he searched for me and found me just 2 weeks before my 16th birthday. We've been inseparable ever since. We shared a special moment when we were 18, which I'll always treasure. Though, I'm not entirely sure if it was his first time too, haha. We have 3 kids, 12M, 10F7M. When our first child was born, we were just 19 years old and living in our first home. My husband was working, but his job ended abruptly when he was falsely accused of a serious crime at a care home for people with disabilities. We lost our home and had to move in with my parents until we were offered a council house, which took 6 long months. During that time, I became pregnant with our second child. We got married when we were 22 years old, just 4 weeks after our daughter was born. We moved to a bigger house, and I was heavily pregnant with our third child. During the chaos of the move, I stumbled upon something that broke my heart. I discovered my husband had been secretly using websites for escorts and online dating. I confronted him, and he downplayed it, saying it was just harmless fun online because he was bored. He promised me that I was the only one he had ever been with. I wanted to believe him, so I chose to trust his words and continued with our life as usual. 2 years ago, my world crumbled when I discovered my husband's infidelity. He had cheated on me even before we got married and continued to do so throughout our relationship, including with escorts and prostitutes. He claimed it was only 3 instances, but I suspect there's more to the story. He even paid for sex on our 8th wedding anniversary after work. It hurts even more that he cheated on me while I was recovering from surgeries. He's a master manipulator, always helping others to hide his own secrets. He's a skilled liar, making me feel like the crazy one when I confront him. He knows I'm aware of his deceit, but he continues to deny the truth. 2 years ago, we were on a family vacation with the kids when I reached a breaking point. My husband was lying to me again, and I snapped. I was furious about his ongoing deception and the pain he had caused me. I lost control and hit him, but he hit me back, and it ended with me in the hospital and him getting arrested. I chose not to press charges, but it was a turning point in our relationship. This wasn't the first time he had hurt me physically, but it was the first time I ended up in the hospital. I had tried to escape, and someone called an ambulance to help me. Things got even worse, and I started hurting myself and drinking vodka every night until I passed out. He would take advantage of me sexually when I was in that state. It was a dark time, and I felt trapped and helpless. I've struggled with mental health issues for a long time, stemming from childhood abuse by family members. I was diagnosed with PTSD, depression, and anxiety at a young age, but after having my first child, I made significant progress and overcame self-harm and binge drinking. I had my mental health under control until 2 years ago when things took a turn for the worse. Despite my struggles, he would often save me from my suicide attempts, but deny any wrongdoing. I have evidence that proves I'm not imagining things, but he only tells me partial truths. Despite all this, I'm still with him. We even moved 66 miles away from our hometown last year for a fresh start and to access better resources for our daughter's disability. I'm not as hurt by his infidelity as I am by his lies and refusal to tell the whole truth. I've always expected that men might cheat, but I can't tolerate being lied to. I'm confused about my own reactions. I'm still intimate with him, despite what he's done, and sometimes I even fantasize about him with someone else, which feels strange and disturbing. But at the same time, the thought of his infidelity can also upset me, although only for a short time. What really hurts me the most is his deception and secrets. To make matters worse, I lost my mother's trust as well. She revealed a secret about something that happened between her and my husband 9 years ago. But she won't give me details, and my husband's version of events doesn't add up. It feels like everyone around me is hiding the truth, and it's tearing me apart. Despite everything, he's the only man I've ever been with, and I don't want to cheat or seek revenge. But I'm struggling to understand my own feelings and what I need from our relationship. We're a great team, and we rarely argue. Since his infidelity was revealed, he's been making more of an effort to spend quality time with me, help with household chores, cook, and ensure we have food and money. We've faced financial struggles, but things are slowly improving thanks to my new job. He's considerate and lets me sleep in, and he has a wonderful relationship with our children. He's a great partner in many ways, and that's what makes this situation so confusing and hard for me to navigate. When we bought our home last year, he put in a lot of effort to renovate it to my liking, and it's now a beautiful and comfortable space. We have a good life together, but his past infidelity still lingers. He seems to be waiting for me to cheat on him, which angers me because I'm not capable of that. I've grown and changed since moving here, and I now stand up for myself, which he doesn't seem to like. He misses the old me, the doormat I used to be, but I'm not going back to that. I found my strength in my voice, and I won't let him or anyone else take that away from me. I think deep down he won't tell me anything because he knows it'll kill me. Is it better not knowing, or should I know everything even if it kills me? I've learned to stop pushing for answers and just wait patiently, but time is passing and I'm not getting any younger. I feel lost and unsure of what to do next. Since having my first child, I've been focused on being a good parent and haven't had a social life or hobbies outside of my family. I was content with my simple life, but everything changed when my husband's infidelity shattered my world. Now, I'm reaching out for guidance and support because I desperately need it. That's why I'm sharing my story, hoping someone will offer the help and direction I so desperately need. I don't want to start over with someone new. I want to fix things with my husband, but he's not giving me the one thing I need: closure. Despite everything, we work well together, our kids are happy, and we've weathered many storms. I love him, and I believe he loves me too, but it feels like he only truly realized his feelings when he was arrested on holiday and was alone for 4 days. That's when he started making more of an effort. Our relationship feels more genuine now, and we're closer than ever. We laugh together, do everything together, and even share baths. We have more good times than bad, and I can't bring myself to give up on us. I want to hold on to what we have and make it work. It sounds like you're in a difficult but also loving relationship. Closure can be an important step in healing, but it's also important to recognize the positive aspects of your relationship. I'm here to support you as you navigate this complex situation. I'm just stuck. A big part of me wants to continue living this life with my husband despite the challenges and grow old together. But a smaller part of me longs for independence, to focus on myself and our children, and to be single. I'm torn between these two desires. It's hard for me to let go of what we have, but the presence of his female coworker whom he works with 5 days a week triggers me and brings up past hurts that I thought were buried. He started this new job 3 months ago. Thank you for taking the time to read my story and understand my struggles.